Stop for a moment and think about the last time you felt truly yourself. Not just in fleeting moments, but as a lasting sense of identity amidst the noise of modern life. In my research of Carl Jung's work, I've found that individuation is not just an abstract psychological concept, but a profoundly transformative journey that remains crucial, especially today when societal pressures constantly pull us away from our authentic selves. Jung, who was a pioneering psychiatrist and thinker, dedicated decades to understanding how we become whole by integrating all parts of our psyche, including those we tend to reject or hide. If you have ever felt fragmented, overwhelmed by external expectations, or disconnected from your own inner voice, then you are already touching on the modern relevance of Jung's idea of individuation. He observed in his clinical practice that this journey toward wholeness is often triggered by suffering or crisis, a phenomenon I see repeatedly echoed in today's culture where burnout, anxiety, and existential confusion are rampant. Individuation matters now because it offers a path to reclaim your unique identity beyond the masks imposed by social media, family, or career demands. This is not about isolation or narcissism, but about embracing the entirety of your inner world to stand firmly grounded as your true self. When Jung first described individuation, he was fascinated by how patients revealed hidden aspects of their personality, often seen in dreams rich with symbols that speak to the unconscious. I've studied his evocative case histories where a patient came to realize through dreams and unconscious projections that they were denying not only personal flaws, but essential potentials too, those overlooked and undervalued parts that could enrich their life. Modern society's relentless pace encourages us to remain in a one-dimensional self-image crafted to please others or fit in. But Jung warned that ignoring the shadow side, those rejected traits or emotions, leads to inner conflict and stagnation. So individuation means accepting the shadow as part of yourself rather than pushing it away. Imagine that shadow as a hidden depth that holds creative power, untapped wisdom, and essential truths about your desires and fears. Jung's approach reveals that this integration is not a fix-it-yourself exercise, but a guided dialogue between conscious awareness and the unconscious psyche. From my perspective, this is why Jung's work feels urgent today, because many people experience a sense of fragmentation or alienation made worse by the hyper-connected yet impersonal nature of modern life. Let me share a striking example. One of Jung's patients struggled with compulsive behaviors and an overwhelming desire to conform professionally while feeling an internal void. Through his systematic exploration of her dreams and active imagination, a technique Jung pioneered that involves consciously engaging with the images from the unconscious, she discovered suppressed artistic impulses and unresolved emotional wounds. This realization expanded her identity beyond the narrow role she played in society and opened the door to a more integrated and creative life. Isn't it fascinating how Jung's method provides a framework to uncover the layers beneath our conscious self, layers often neglected because we're too busy conforming? In modern terms, individuation reminds us that true fulfillment arises when we courageously embrace all facets of our personality, including those parts deemed incompatible with societal norms. Jung's concept is not about becoming perfect, but about becoming whole, which in itself is a radical act in a world obsessed with perfection and external validation. Practically, from Jung's perspective, individuation involves steps anyone can begin today. First, developing self-awareness through reflection, journaling your dreams, and noticing recurring emotional patterns or projections is essential. This invites your unconscious to reveal itself slowly and compassionately without overwhelming you. Second, embracing your shadow means noticing traits you find uncomfortable or undesirable and observing how they show up in your relationships or choices. Rather than judging or suppressing these aspects, you gently explore where they stem from and what messages they might carry. Third, engaging with symbols through art, mythology, or personal mythology helps connect your inner and outer worlds in ways rational thinking cannot reach. Jung believed these symbolic experiences bypass the ego's resistance and facilitate profound insights. Lastly, finding a space for meaningful solitude or retreat is crucial, especially in our noisy modern environments. Jung himself emphasized that solitude helps cultivate the inner dialogue vital for individuation. I encourage you to experiment with these steps gradually, understanding that individuation is a lifelong journey, not a quick fix. Summarizing Jung's wisdom, individuation means becoming the singular, authentic self that harmonizes the conscious personality and unconscious potential. It is about breaking free from external scripts to live a more genuine, creative life. Applying this today has the power to relieve the fragmentation many feel and open new pathways for psychological resilience and personal growth. And here's where it gets even more important. In our next exploration, I will dive into the question, how can I resist collective pressures without isolating myself? Jung's insights on individuation lay the foundation for that, because resisting social conformity requires a strong, integrated self that can engage with society authentically without losing inner coherence or falling into loneliness. Tomorrow's discussion is essential because it amplifies this balance, how to stand firm in your truth while remaining connected to the world around you, a paradox Jung understood deeply. If you found value in this journey into individuation, do like, comment your thoughts or experiences, and subscribe for more conversations that bridge Jung's timeless ideas with your modern life. Preparing to resist collective pressures without isolation is the next natural step in our shared path toward wholeness and psychological freedom. Don't miss it.